Good evening to you, Kwena, and to the Newzroom Afrika viewers. Fans still continuing to stream into the stadium. Of course, just a couple of hours ago, we got that note that it's going to be a full house here today. And you can tell why, because, it's a semi-final fixtures, both these sides still pushing for that silverware this season. Conversations have been going throughout the week leading up to this match from the fan side and of course from the pundits. I do have one of the pundits with me here, Mthokozisi Dube. But from the fan side, you've got fans from both sides, from the Mamelodi Sundowns side, who have enjoyed the dominance that Sundowns have had over Kaizer Chiefs for the longest of time. The last time that Kaizer Chiefs beat Mamelodi Sundowns was back in April 2021. So we are counting about almost 4 years for the last time that Amakosi got the hurdle over their opponents in Mamelodi Sundowns. And of course, our colleagues there, Ubabumbata, there at Newzroom Afrika, even yesterday before I left the office, a staunch Kaizer Chiefs supporter, he was saying, listen, if there was a time for Kaizer Chiefs to beat Mamelodi Sundowns, this is the day. But if you look at the lineup already, which we're going to chat to about with Mthokozisi just now, it doesn't look that great for Kaizer Chiefs in the standing, because Mamelodi Sundowns have solely put out a very, very strong lineup today. But without further ado, let me bring in Mthokozisi, Far Post football editor. Mthokozisi, appreciate your time on Newzroom Afrika as always. Let's start on that front. We've already seen the lineup. When you look at the Sundowns side, it's a normal side that we've seen over the seasons. And then on the Kaizer Chiefs side, especially at the back of the injuries that are coming in, it's looking rather bleak before even kickoff starts.
Yeah, good evening to the viewers. Look, I think the timing of this game, obviously, not very good for Kaizer Chiefs, I think, when you look at the fact that almost the entire back line injured. Inacio Miguel, who's played 26 games in all competitions this season, unavailable for this game. Dudley, we've not seen him in a while. Reef Rosler as well, not available for this game. Nasreddin Nabi has brought in the likes of Bradley Cross, who's not played much football in recent times. Ed Milson Deve will have to play a more central role. So a bit of a tricky one for Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah. You speak about these players now. We've been talking about the pressure that's continuously mounting on Kaizer Chiefs. Is there any way out of this for them?
Very difficult, because you can see the way Mamelodi Sundowns have set up, they really want to win this game. I think they've set more or less the same team that played Esperance away from home. You can see they really want to win this game. And for Kaizer Chiefs, I think they've struggled in recent games to score goals. And when you look at their lineup, the back line, if you want to win games, you need to avoid conceding and you need to score goals. And they've not been doing that very well. And the lineup that they have out today doesn't look very strong to be able to withhold this Mamelodi Sundowns team.
Yeah, seems like a lot is not clicking that Kaizer Chiefs. What is missing? You've been following this team even before Coach Nasreddin Nabi came into the setup at Kaizer Chiefs, but seems like things are just not connecting.
Yeah, look, things haven't really, not the first season that Nasreddin Nabi would have wanted. Obviously, the inconsistency, lack of confidence from fans, because you at a big club like Kaizer Chiefs, you need to win time. You've got to win games to win time. And he's not done that very well in the first season. And I do think it's also, it's a number of factors. Obviously, confidence issue from a player's point of view. We've spoken at the start of the season about issues to do with recruitment. Kaizer Chiefs need to recruit better, going forward. There's been injuries also in the mix, struggles to score goals, which in the last 3 seasons they've struggled to score goals. On average, in a season they've scored 30 goals in the league. This season, not different. So I think it's a number of factors, really.
Building up to this press conference, there is a question that was put out by one of our colleagues asking if Nasreddin Nabi does deserve another season after this, because there have been calls, or those slight calls even from fans, that have been saying maybe he wasn't just the perfect guy, but tough for him to release him, especially when he's got the backing of the chairman.
Yeah, look, I think when you look at Kaizer Chiefs, I think in the past, they're a club that have given coaches enough time, because in recent seasons it's not looked really good in terms of that. But you get the sense now that there is backing from management for the coach to be given a bit of time so that he can implement his ideas. I do know that they've started trying to recruit for next season just to improve the quality of the squad and give the coach the kind of backing that he's been asking for, to say we need quality, you know, so it does look like you'll be given more time.
But also on the money side, though, it will be tough, millions that you would need to give him and his technical team if you want to release him. Now, maybe a quick shift to Mamelodi Sundowns. I think there's a bigger motivation now in this sense, especially when you look at the CAF Champions League, the possibility that they might meet Orlando Pirates, knowing very well that Pirates is already through to the final of the Nedbank Cup. That might strike them already in the changing room to say, we could build up another final in this one. And that could charge as a bigger motivation for this game tonight.
Yeah, look, I mean, when you look at Mamelodi Sundowns, I mean, Rulani Mokwena left this club. I mean, one of the issues is trophies. You need to win trophies at this club. Miguel Cardoso missed out on the Carling Knockout Cup. You know, he's coming now. He needs to win trophies. He needs to win the CAF Champions League. He needs to win the Nedbank Cup. I mean, when you look at the kind of quality that Sundowns have, there's no excuse not to win, you know, trophies. So it will be important for him to start off with this one.
Yeah, and definitely it's one that they're definitely facing, like I mentioned, at the back of that CAF Champions League charge. But I think also the crucial player, Lucas Ribeiro, is going to be another player that's definitely going to be touted tonight. He has been a struggle for Kaizer Chiefs to stop.
Look, he's been exceptional for, you know, even before Miguel Cardoso came in. He's scored a lot of goals, I think, against Kaizer Chiefs this season. They've played 3 competitive matches. They've won all 3, and he's been instrumental in those. And that Kaizer Chiefs defense will have to make sure they take good care of him up front.
Tell them what your score prediction was already when we were speaking offline.
Look, I do see Sundowns scoring 3 goals today.
Yep. So a dream final that fans have been looking for, Pirates and Sundowns, and I guess possibly even in the Champions League, a similar fate. Yeah.
Look, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Miguel Cardoso has actually said he wants to play Orlando Pirates in the final of the CAF Champions League. I'm sure by now he knows that Orlando Pirates are through to the final of the Nedbank Cup, and he has to get there and see if they can play 2 cup finals.
Yep. Thokozisi, always appreciate your time on Newzroom Africa. Thokozisi Dube Kwena just giving us his sense leading up to this match. Of course, getting to that kickoff, which is 6 p.m. More things from the pundit side, leaning on the Mamelodi Sundowns side, especially when they look at the lineup. But like they say, football, that's why we call it the beautiful game, because things can turn around in the middle of the park once the ball is starting to be kicked. If Chiefs loses today, definitely that decade, it will be a full decade, right?
It will be a full decade.
It will be a full decade before they win the last time that they won a title. So that's how crucial it is for tonight. If Kaizer Chiefs want to get to that point where they even give themselves an advantage to get silverware this season. But more things are leaning on the Sundown side for this evening. We're getting closer to the kickoff winner. It's back to you in studio.